Ladies and gentlemen, good day to you in whichever part of the globe you are in. My name is Jayendra Tampan. You may call me Jay, and I take care of the export division for Screencheck Middle East. I welcome with immense pleasure all of you who have found time to log in to our webinar, BSAFE, and I wish we have an opportunity to know or learn something new or discover a hidden opportunity to unbolt the door to make 2020 and the coming years far, far better. We are all aware that during this distress time, many people have taken salary cuts or even lost their jobs. What's most sad is that many have lost their near and dear ones, and life will not be the same again for them. At this point in time, we would like to extend our heartfelt condolences to those departed souls and pray that life gets back to normal for everyone. At the end, we all know we have to continue waiting to being safe till we find a vaccine. As the lockdown procedures have eased out in many countries, and as we have started to welcome all our colleagues back to work gradually, it is not a thing of the past to just say welcome back. There is a new way of welcoming everyone back to work. Employees will always have a doubt of how secure their workplace would be. It becomes the responsibility of the management to assure the employee of best practices at the workplace. This approach needs to be based on health and precautionary data from government authorities. Also, it is the onus of the organization to provide all employees with clear health guidelines and instructions to help protect themselves and their family members. There are steps involved in getting safer working places in these times of distress caused by unseen disease germs spreading from person to person. We need to be aware of having more diligence and due importance meted out to minor but important details in our state of being inside office spaces, as much as we show the same at our work. Screencheck has designed this webinar to elaborate on the same. We would like to spread awareness and positivity to this global audience during this pandemic time. Screencheck is part of the Centena Group headquartered in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And with over 3 decades of business expertise, Centena Group of companies prides itself as a financially stable company and a front runner in innovation, human capital development, and corporate governance, which has resulted in the group being featured twice in Dubai's top 100 SME companies. Centena Group offers innovative and cutting-edge solutions in the field of science and technology through various windows. Let me introduce to you all the companies within the group. Meritronics is a flagship company of the group and has been serving customers since 1980, providing sales and support of marine electronics, navigation, communication, and automation systems on board ships. AtLab is the educational wing of the group, and they make learning more effective, fun-filled, and impactful. M for Industrial Automation provides industrial instrumentation, control automation products and services that are designed and maintained for efficiency, accuracy, and ruggedness. M for DLAS, Diagnostic, Life Analytical and Sciences, supplies and maintains equipment and systems for manufacturing, processing, packaging industries to meet R&D, quality control, and material identification functions. Screencheck, Auto ID, and Horizon. Screencheck in Middle East and India, Auto ID in India, and Horizon in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia provide a series of security solutions using innovative technologies in identification, biometrics, smart cards, RFID, and low-energy Bluetooth solutions. Let us look at the agenda for the day. There are 3 parts for this webinar to be discussed. The first point of discussion is general control measures advised. Here, we will discuss the general control measures to be followed at workplaces for a healthy and safe life. The second point is organizing entry processes at workplace. This section will elaborate on procedures to be looked at while entering offices to ensure we have a blanket of safety, and likewise for our colleagues so that we can still remain one happy family as ever. The third point on the agenda is during working hours. This point will be discussed elaborately on what would be the safety measures to be followed to ensure there is no chance of becoming a carrier of germs while we work inside our offices. An insight will be given into various areas like educational awareness and participation, maintaining social distancing, reducing direct contact, measures to ensure safety where contact is unavoidable, facilitate movement within offices, managing visitors, and managing occupancy within a crowded area. We are honored to have Mr. Ali Al-Hammadi amongst us, who is a certified professional coach and also the area director for Toastmasters International. Ali Al-Hammadi comes with 2 decades of experience in the oil and gas sector and has participated as an assessor for Business Excellence Awards in Dubai and is also a certified professional coach. A short missive from his end to the public on how to stay motivated during tough times. Over to Mr. Ali.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, we are all facing the situation which we haven't faced before, COVID-19. There are a lot of challenges we are living today, as in freedom to move. We are forced to keep social distancing. We are forced to wear masks. We are not allowed to gather for weddings, etc. We are not allowed to go to schools. We are not allowed to go to offices. All that comes at the cost of our happiness. But yes, we're doing all that to protect ourselves from spreading COVID-19. Now, the whole world is united to fight against this COVID-19. Travel has stopped, and a lot of projects have stopped. A lot of events are postponed. But where does that put us all? Does it put us in the uncomfortable situation, or puts us in the comfortable situation, or somewhere else? I would say it puts us somewhere else. Mankind always adapts. We always adapt to whatever situation we go through. Now, yes, we cannot go to offices, we cannot send our children to schools, but we can use the technology to have distant learning and also to work from home. We also have the technology to connect with our relatives, with our friends. We also have the technology to bring the news and media wherever we are. During this time, we have more time for ourselves. This is the time we can invest in exercising. This is the time we can invest in learning, connecting with our families. When was the last time you sat with your families? This is the time for it. During this time, we learned that the world should be one front against the unseen, the unknown, COVID-19. Everybody on this earth today is working on finding a cure. That's what united the mankind. And by the way, I hear that a lot of people are still getting married. And guess what's next? Mankind will always overcome difficulties. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ali, for the wonderful note. As you have rightly said, people are still getting married, and mankind adapts as always. Hope is what we will pin on to. And now continuing to our measures discussed earlier. The first point of discussion is general control measures advised. In events of usual common cold and flu And even in times of any epidemic or pandemic, the first advice from medical practitioners is always to wear a protective face mask. Wearing a face mask is very important while out of your home. It should cover the top of the nose till under the chin, protecting both the nose and the mouth from anything outside. This also avoids touching the face. Wearing good quality gloves will also protect you from germs sticking to your hand, as we are not sure on the whereabouts of the killer germs. Frequent washing of hands with soap and water and constant application using alcohol-based sanitizer will ensure that these invisible germs are destroyed. Maintaining adequate and recommended social distancing is very crucial to avoid being a carrier of the germs. The World Health Organization has recommended a 2 meters or 6 feet distance between two people. Continuing on the general control measures, using e-payment methodologies over physical methods will protect you better, as you can be within the safety of your home on your laptop, iPad, or phone, rather than being inside crowded banks and utility payment places. Do not have any sort of direct contact with people outside your home. Avoid direct contact with others, for example, like in handshakes, hugs. Ensure that strict disinfection and sterilization procedures are carried out for all offices before people return to work. In addition, it is imperative to provide safety measures like hand sanitizers and sterile napkins for regular use for all employees and visitors. It is our privilege to have our second speaker for the day, Dr. Tariq Khalid, who is a Dubai-based physician and healthcare specialist. He works for one of the leading medical groups in the MENA regions. He's here with us today to share a message on what measures to be adopted towards reducing chances of getting infected by COVID and also to reduce the spread of the germs. Over to Dr. Tariq.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Tariq Khalid and I'm here to give you an advice on precautions, how we can reduce the chances of being infected with COVID-19 and how we can reduce the chances of spreading the virus in our community. Number one, we need regularly and thoroughly clean our hands by alcohol-based solution or wash them by water and soap until we kill the viruses might be on our hands. Number two, we need to keep social distance between each other when we are meeting other people because the virus is transmitted by droplets. And when other people sneeze or cough, they might transmit the virus into the droplets. And if we are into close contact with these people, we might breathe in these droplets and get infected ourselves. Number three, we need to avoid going to crowded places because we can't guarantee and maintain the physical distance required for social distancing, and we might come into contact with person infected and producing droplets containing the virus. Number four, avoid touching our eyes, nose, or mouth by our hands because we might come into contaminated surfaces, and when we are touching those by our hands, then when we are touching our face back, that means we are transmitting the virus through these entries, and we might allow the virus to enter our body through our eyes, nose, or even mouth. Number five, we need to make sure that we are following the minimum good respiratory precautions. That means when we are coughing or sneezing, we need to cover our mouth by a tissue or at least by a bent elbow. So after that, we need to wash our hands and we need to dispose all these used tissues to avoid contamination with other people and avoid infecting other people by ourselves. So by these precautions, we reduce the chances of transmission of viruses like cold, flu, or even COVID-19. Number six, we need to stay home when we feel ourselves unwell, and we need to seek medical advice when needed. And we need to follow the instructions by local health authorities when needed regarding the home quarantine instructions for suspected cases when we have symptoms. Number seven, We need to keep ourselves updated by the information from trusted resources like WHO or local health authorities like the Dubai Health Authority or Ministry of Health or others. These authorities are the best place where the people can get the information on how they should be doing to protect themselves from being infected with COVID-19. Thank you so much.
Dr. Tariq, thank you very much for those instructions. Appreciate you taking time out to spread public awareness in troubled times like these. I'm sure all our viewers would have those well noted down. Thank you. The next session we would be covering is on organizing entry processes at workplaces. Since fever is one of the most common symptoms of body complications, it is very important that we do a temperature check at the entrances of offices. Measuring the temperature of entrance to the workplace and noting them down is crucial, and if someone is having abnormal temperature, then necessary actions can be taken according to the procedures laid down. Restricting group entries and exits at offices by fixing mechanical constraints consisting of either rotating horizontal arms or swing gates, allowing only one person at a time to pass through, will be of great help. It is better to use contactless readers like face or iris detection devices to confirm attendance or grant access to employees. Maintaining social distances of 2 meters or 6 feet between people at the entrance and inside the premises is mandatory. Breach of social distancing can be brought to the notice of people by audio or video messages using appropriate devices. Till now, we have looked at the general measures and the entry processes. Now, we have to ensure that all employees inside the premises are safe and healthy during working hours. While inside our offices, what are the safety measures that we should follow to ensure there is no chance of becoming a carrier of germs? This section talks about educational awareness and participation, maintaining social distancing, reducing direct contact, measures to ensure safety where contact is unavoidable, facilitate movement within offices, managing visitors and occupancy within crowded areas. What we need to understand in educational awareness and participation are how to promote healthy personal habits and guidance materials, launching health education campaigns at the workplace, use of instructional electronic boards like digital signage instead of old-fashioned notice boards to reduce physical contacts, and also acquire a habit of measuring temperature continuously and recording the same to monitor health changes using thermal cameras at workplaces. Now, we will talk about maintaining social distancing. Let's look at how we should be managing shared room controls for common areas like workspaces and conference rooms. Reorganizing offices and distributing staff seating places to reduce direct contact between attendees is important. Alternate seating arrangements or zone-wise seating arrangements can be used to effect social distancing at work. It is necessary to pre-book shared and common spaces before using them, as also cleaning before and after usage and limiting the number of employees present in them. Now, let's watch a small video on a solution that can help pre-booking shared spaces. This solution is very easy to use and will definitely add value in terms of increasing security, organizing the shared space usage, and more than all, increases aesthetics of these spaces. On to the video.
Introducing Connect, a simple way to find and book meeting rooms in seconds via mobile, your calendar, or the room screen. Using Connect couldn't be simpler, working seamlessly with Microsoft Outlook and Google G Suite. Connect's vibrant touchscreen easily installs on any wall. Everything you need to manage and monitor can be done centrally through our secure portal. Take the hassle out of meeting room booking with Connect. Meeting room bookings made simple.
Using a meeting room solution like this would definitely help to manage usage of these shared spaces very efficiently and for a long time to come. It is a good practice to remove common equipment and tools, for example, coffee makers, vending machines, microwaves, photocopiers used by all employees with independent devices for preparation. And this will add to being safe at workplaces. It is also recommended to start using motion sensors for doors, lights, and air conditioners, as this will avoid touching switches, remotes, and other common contact surfaces. If during working hours, touching common surfaces becomes unavoidable, then we can suggest certain measures to help using common surfaces. For example, antimicrobial films are easy to install and it will help to kill germs on common surfaces and ensure retouching will not pose an issue. But it is important to follow directions to not contact surfaces and reduce the risk of employees coming into contact with these contaminated surfaces. We recommend completing all financial transactions electronically or use sterilized notes where cash transactions are unavoidable. But if you really want dirty money, don't look here and there. Maybe that's right there in your wallet. Well, I mean dirty money as in money infected with disease-causing microorganisms. Banknotes are the main source of pathogens infecting human body in terms of viruses, bacteria, fungi, and discrete fine dust. How to remove all of these and make banknotes cleaner so we can be more confident of handling the same, though it travels faster through various hands. A short video on how to clean banknotes using a money sterilizer which has plasma ion technology being used. Over to the video.
SMI has developed a money sterilizer called M-Care to protect workers in financial institutions and the public from diseases that arise from contaminated bills, and furthermore, promote their health. This innovative money sterilizer can eliminate 99.9% of bacteria in just 30 seconds by releasing plasma-generated cluster ions into the air instead of utilizing the existing UV ray or germicide methods. The plasma-generated cluster ion generator fitted in this money sterilizer creates more than 19 million positive and negative plasma-generated cluster ions, respectively. These plasma-generated cluster ions penetrate every corner of a bill, surrounding harmful microbes which then turn into proteins or water, H2O, making them harmless to the human body. Because plasma-generated cluster ions instantly surround and decompose microbes, this sterilizer ensures quick and highly effective sterilization. After sterilization, the plasma-generated cluster ions remain inside the money sterilizer for 5 to 10 seconds, so that sterilization can be continued. This machine can also be used for coins. As a money sterilizer, M-Care can be utilized in places such as banks, post offices, malls, supermarkets, and other places with cash transactions.
Now you have understood how positive and negative hydroxide ions can be used to rip off hydrogen atoms from the protein sheath of unicellular microorganic pathogens and render them harmless. And since the byproduct is water, it adds to the atmosphere and is harmless to human beings. Makes this even more interesting as the fine dust called PM 2.5 can be filtered using HEPA filters, which is high efficiency particulate air. Moving ahead with the presentation. Perform sterilization and regular cleaning of tools and objects where touching the objects becomes unavoidable, as in objects like wallets, phones, handbags, and other office paraphernalia. Common objects like wallets, handbags, even paper documents, phones, and other office paraphernalia like staplers, rulers, pens, etc. And not to forget at our own homes, laundry and grocery items coming to our houses can be sterilized using products like the ozone sterilizer. Let's have a look at the ozone sterilizer video. Ozone is harmless to us but can kill microorganisms very effectively, and the advantage is that it isn't harmful like UV radiations. So it is quite a good tool at offices and homes to sanitize common and unavoidable objects of daily use. Nowadays, almost all employees carry smartphones, and it is recommended to use mobile-based attendance solutions along with social distancing alerts. We need to see the next video to understand how this process of using Bluetooth technology in smartphones will enable accurate but cost-effective methods for taking attendance and maintaining social distances between registered employee phones.
COVID-19 is impacting humanity hard. Some of us are already going to offices and factories, while others are staying home fighting COVID-19. Social distancing is the only way to fight COVID-19. Post-lockdown, the biggest challenge for any organization is going to be keeping the workplace social distancing compliant. At Indolytics, we have found a novel solution for the novel challenge. With Faceometrics, you can not only enable 100% touch-free attendance and punch-ins, but also monitor social distancing performance automatically. This is how it works. With all the employees having the Faceometrics app installed on their phones, when any of your employees comes within 6 feet of each other and stays there for more than 10 seconds, an alert is sent to them, reminding them to maintain social distancing and making them self-aware of the risk. The social distancing score of individuals and ranking is visible right on the app, motivating teams to maintain social distancing. God forbid, but if any of your employees catches COVID-19, you can get contact tractability in just one click. This will help you act quickly and isolate contacts within your organization. We respect user privacy. Contact tracing happens only within the workspace.
I'm sure products like these will reassure and motivate employees of a much secure place of work with no requirement to overtax brain cells to work on whether to touch or not, and also to calculate work distances between people with a subconscious mind. It is recommended to develop an accurate visualization of areas where there is heavy traffic of staff and reorganize the transition and redistribute equipment and office assets accordingly. Lastly, it is good to think and eliminate any gathering mishaps by using social distancing measuring sensors and give messages to notify the people or employees regarding breach of the same. Let's watch a small video on this.
الرجاء الحفاظ على مسافة مترين من التباعد الاجتماعي. شكرا. Please maintain 2 meters of social distancing. Thank you.
That is as simple looking as a usual analog CCTV camera. Well, that in addition also measures distance between people, and if the distance isn't maintained as recommended, then there is a customizable audio message. Seems good, right? Speaking about visitors coming into offices, it is important to ensure all visitors obtain a valid pre-approval electronically before entering the work site. It is crucial to record the data of all visitors, including temperature while entering, valid visitor information including name, ID details, and source information. Person to visit with valid reasons, valid date, time of visit with an appointment. Now, prohibition of entry for visitors in case of absence of valid permit and proper hygiene is also to be checked. Let us see the video for visitor management to understand how exactly the solution works and helps.
Visitor management can prove to be a tedious task for your visitors and an expensive affair for your corporation. Introducing the VAMS corporate solution. It enhances the security with two-factor authorization with photo capture and mobile verification. By saving their data on a personal or secure cloud server, VAMS makes their next visits easy, quick, and hassle-free. It also facilitates Outlook integration, QR integrated turnstiles, and even an optional facial recognition module. It enables you to schedule appointments, group entries, mark your favorite visitors, and blacklist unwanted guests. Features like Active Directory and SSO integration make it easier for employees to manage the app and reduce administrative overheads overall. It lets you take charge of your company's security from anywhere, on any device, in the language that you prefer. Spread across 13 countries with more than 1,000 active sites, VAMS registers over 150,000 visitors daily. Secure your workplace and give your visitors a good experience by installing the best visitor management system today.
I hope this video has explained the visitor management process, which will help companies track securely people from outside the organization, which will help definitely in a very, very long way. Managing occupancy inside offices, stores, and large shopping malls is required to control people movement. Access to some work sites, offices, public places needs to be restricted if the capacity exceeds the permitted number. Consider this as only a simple traffic light, not for vehicles though, but for people. It will help keep account of the maximum capacity of a secured place and can authorize your entry based on the count of people inside. Another small video to see how this is accomplished.
Introducing vCare, a real-time occupancy solution for supermarkets, shopping malls, retail stores, and buildings of all sizes. vCare requires minimum setup, and installation is fast and easy through an API. Just plug and play and you'll be up and running in no time. How vCare works. vCare uses highly accurate sensors to detect people as they enter and exit a building and reports live occupancy data and visual warnings and alerts when occupancy limits are reached. Monitor your live occupancy on your dashboard and optimize your facility management per zone, like toilets or elevators, to provide periodic sanitization for areas with the least traffic. As people enter and exit, you can see the occupancy numbers changing in real time and the visual alerts changing on the display screens. vCare works accurately even when people don't follow social distancing guidelines and enter extremely close to each other. Get started with our vCare Live occupancy solution and keep your customers and staff safe.
Now we know that malls and supermarkets can have a method of controlling crowds within their stores to ensure there is no overcrowding at all, contributing towards social well-being. Thus, you have seen that huge portfolio that we, Screencheck, carry on for the global community. Truly, owing to the support that we receive from our partners and customers from all around the world, we have become one-stop shopping basket, which we have been improvising and improving year on year. We would like to present you with a small 5 minutes video encapsulating what we have been talking about in an eventful day in one's life. Request all of you to watch the video and then get into the final session, which will be questions and answers.
social distancing.